go.
Boom, 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 boom.
See? Okay. Well, that's
Boom,
not quite a
boom.
start,
Boom, boom.
but here we are.
Gonna take my horse to the hotel room.
Ah,
That's how that's
My
starting.
bad.
What is this, episode 6?
yeah.
Shout out to the Satan shoes, y'all.
Shout out to one drop of human blood in each of the shoes. I read an article and they were saying like it was from the employees, the blood, and the way they said it was it probably wasn't done in the best way and was not a good experience for anybody. And that's where they left it. It's like, what? I think they
Was there actually a drop of human blood in those?
honestly, I have no
I
idea.
thought that. So my understanding is that they weren't actually like actual release shoes. Like it was just like he was just fucking around. And like it
I
was
thought
like
they sold like
No, they're definitely.
Oh, they sold.
They
they
definitely are
sold
shoes,
666 pairs. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I think they were all like
666 pairs.
they were all 1,018, because $1,018 because that's I think it's Luke 10:18, and it's
Yeah,
the
1018.
the point when someone sees the devil falling from heaven, like, and then lightning strikes or whatever.
Because Nike blocked all sales of the shoes.
Yeah.
Nike has the right to sue him.
Yeah. Well, they
Right.
actually didn't sue him. They sued the company that
Yeah.
did the
Yeah.
It's called like
advertising.
makeshift or something like that, like MK as
Something. They're gonna go out of business because that's.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I saw a lot of stuff I saw a lot of tweets, about the shoes, and I think I retweeted something. One quarterback I know, it was like he retweeted and was like, "Hey, like when do we draw the line? Like when is
Yeah.
the line drawn?" And honestly, like first of all, he was white, so you can kind of be like, "Wait a second, we're leaving it to a white guy to tell us when to draw the line." Like
Right.
people could really get mad about that, but I'm not even Christian, and I saw that and I was like,
I mean,
I know-
here's the thing.
I don't know.
Here's my thing about that. Like, did they force you to buy it? You know what I mean?
Not
Like,
at all.
it's exactly what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to. That's the thing. I think people get all up in arms, like, well, this and that and that and this, and like, it's like you don't have to you don't have to like buy it. You don't have to give the money. So I mean, my whole thing is like, and the whole thing about like people like, oh well, the kids parent your children. Like
Yeah.
what do I care?
That's
No.
That's
but
especially about the music video.
That's the music video, but like
Yeah, and also this is a guy this is where I think the line is drawn, right? Because a lot of our kids watch Bubble Guppies, they watch the stuff that's made for kids. This is a guy that came out when he first started, and when he made Old Town Road, performed in schools and said, "Yeah, I love the kids, like I'm performing for the kids." This is a person that was literally making his music. So get this, all of the people who support Lil Nas, Old Town Road, of course it had cuss
Road,
words
he
in
talks about cheating and titties and shit. Like that's not
and doing
like,
lean.
Yeah,
but when
like,
it's censored, doggone well it was big amongst the kids.
It was big,
it was
I mean that's what it was marketed for. Like honestly,
and that's what he pushed for. That's what I'm saying. Like he was pushing towards kids. Like he even said that. Like he was like, "Yo, like I'm so," and I'm not saying, listen, his album, of course, it wasn't clean. I get it, right? But what I'm saying is, the song came out, it had explicit words. When it went into that lane of kids loving it, he rode the wave and was like, "Yo, of course, it's money, right?
You have to make make money.
All for it. So what I'm saying is, you have parents out there. I know it's about parenting your kids, but they might be like at home. Imagine you're at home and you're like, "Yo, the new Lil Nas song is out," and maybe it just happens to come on, and your kids might be listening to it. I'm not saying that it's about parenting. I get it. You should parent your kids, but when you got the shoes, all the stuff that's going on, and I feel like when you've openly said that kids are your audience, that's why I'm just like, I don't know. Not saying that it's going to influence your kids to go out and do stuff. Your kid can grasp sexuality. I get that. But still, I don't care how great my kid can grasp sexuality. I don't want my kid seeing that at 7. I'm going to be real with you. I don't want my kid seeing that at all. I don't think anyone wants their kid seeing that.
Yeah.
Like,
well, then
you don't want your kids looking at that.
I think that's the thing. Like, it's not like it's a thing of there comes a point where it's personal responsibility. Like do I necessarily like the Satan? Like, no, like I don't, but it doesn't affect me. I don't have to let it affect me because I'm like, okay, well, I won't like, I don't have to buy it. I don't have to lean into it. And I think the whole thing of like, you know, like, well, you know, the kids, like, parent your children. That's like people talking about, they're talking about WAP back. We're like, oh, well, it comes on and the kids and everything. Look, don't let them listen to it. Be a
I
parent.
think that's I get that, but also Cardi B doesn't market towards kids. Never. She's never done that.
I don't know.
So if your kid hears it,
I don't even
Lil Nas came out and marketed towards kids.
I don't even market
he openly said that. Yes, he did.
I think it was popular to the kids. So he said, well, this is where the money's at. So here we go. So that's not necessary. That's not me saying like I'm doing it for the kids. The song came out before it was popular. The song always had stuff about lean, titties, doing drugs and all. Like that's not that I'm not sure what.
So you're saying he didn't choose performing at a middle school is not marketing towards kids?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that that's where the money was, so that's where he went. That doesn't make
he marketed towards the kid. Marketing results in you making money. If I market towards people that want to sell their house, I'm marketing to people that need to sell a house. If I'm going to a middle school to perform my song, no matter how many cuss words it has in it, I am marketing towar's those kids.
Okay, well then now
we're said that.
Now we're 2 years on from that, right? We're 2 years on from that moment. Does he not have a chance to maybe change his audience? Maybe grow with his audience? Does he not? He
definitely can.
So he definitely can. Then all that other shit is out the way. Just be like, hey kids, don't listen to it. I mean, it's honestly, to me, it's like, it's ridiculous that people are so up in arms about it. Just don't listen to it if you don't want to. If you don't want your kids listening, don't have them listen to it. I think at this point, it's like, it's not about, oh, well, the imagery, don't listen to it if you don't want to listen to it. Like it's simple as that. Like, I don't like the whole thing about, because listen, I'm not a Satanist. Like, I don't care about the imagery. Like, but the thing for me is he has the right to write about whatever he wants, as long as it's not hurting physical, it's not causing physical harm to anybody else.
Yeah.
And then you have the right to be like, well, I'm not going to consume this media. Is that true? You have the right to say, I'm not gonna deal with this. And that's that. And you can say that, and then he can make whatever he wants.
Yeah.
And as long as nobody's being hurt. Now with the whole blood being drawn thing, that's a little weird. That's kind of like crossing that line of like, is somebody being hurt? But whatever. I mean, like, as far as all that stuff goes, like it's people are making a bigger deal out of it than they need to be making out of it. Just don't listen to it. Don't support him. Like that. It's as simple as that. Like, I don't, just because you know what I mean? Like, it's not, I think people are because people were talking about like, oh, Christianity and the Holy Week and everything. It dropped on the Holy
religion
Week.
Out of it. It's not about religion. They need to just separate that.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Like that's the thing. Stupid. I mean, here I think, and that's the thing. You think for him, he's coming at a religion that's dehumanized him, correct? For something that he cannot control, right? Say whatever you want. Like I'm gonna put that out there. It's not a choice. Who he loves, who he loves. That's not a choice. And there is a group of people that, on the organizational level, the broader organizational level, have dehumanized him simply for that. You know what I'm saying? Like that I don't like. And he said, okay, this is what this is about. That's what the video is about. The whole thing. I'm making these people mad because they have not treated me like a person since whenever. Okay, cool. Good for him. You know what? In fact, yes, I'm excited for him. Good job. Like, I like. You think I'm not going to dance on a racist grave? Hell yeah, I am. Because this is, you know what I'm saying? Like let's put it on a
racist grave. What you mean? This is homophobia.
Yeah, I know what I'm saying, but I'm connecting the two. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
because for me,
okay,
right?
Gotcha.
Say a racist thinks that I'm not a person, or that I'm less of a person. I will dance all over Robert E. Lee's grave.
So who hasn't?
I will dance on Jefferson Davis's grave. Is that? I hate this street.
It's zooming out there, man.
Like, I'll dance on Jefferson Davis's grave.
Yeah.
Like, so I mean, if this is what he needs to do to reconcile that and be like, you know what, like give a big cool, like all for it. And Kendrick,
Yeah.
you're like frozen.
Yeah.
Like,
So anyone who's watching on YouTube right now,
So I'm frozen
Kendrick-
again now. This is terrible.
you've been frozen
Yeah.
for like the past few minutes. You like
Yeah.
came back in for a
It's
second
like
and then
yeah, it goes in and out.
Wow.
It's excellent
No,
content.
This is yeah. Sorry guys, I don't know what's going on with my my picture right now. I think it's my laptop. Still frozen. Okay,
you're like, yeah,
it's fine. It's fine. What can I do? I have no idea. Try to move the camera, but yeah, no, I definitely I agree with you. I mean, I think it's I definitely when you look at it that way. I mean, what happened?
No, you're frozen
again.
like
Yeah.
it's a very
Oh,
very funny
gosh.
picture for anybody who's listening. It's fun of
Oh god.
Is this something that we edit out? I don't know.
You know,
I
honestly,
mean, we keep it in.
it could be one of those things that fixes itself. Like
Yeah.
when it transfers over to YouTube, who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? I
Because
don't
it could
know.
be it could be a Hangouts
Google
problem
Hangouts.
and not
Yeah.
a camera
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah, I don't think it's my camera because my internet connection's fine. So we'll see. But yeah,
Tech
I'm
101
with you.
with the guys.
Yeah, but Tim, what do you think? What do you think about the whole situation?
Man, it's so I'm actually in agreement with Miles like there. I mean, you know, with the video and everything, it's like, man, he like this, it's all about like giving that big FU to the people who have said dehumanized him like just like that. So it's like, you see me as the devil, man, I'm gonna literally fuck the devil in this video, who is also me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I also get what you're saying too, though, Kendrick. With like, he did say at one point, like, right now I'm marketing to kids. You know,
That's where I was. That's where I was.
And I get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of like, I mean, you look at any star, really, like Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, I mean, everybody's got that thing. You know, you can market to whoever you want. And
I get that. I think
yeah.
with Miley, it was more of like, I think the only thing that got me with this is, and I'm not saying any artist needs to announce like, hey, I'm changing course,
Yeah.
right? Or hey, I'm moving somewhere. But Miley
out.
said it. Like Miley was out. She was like, yo, I'm done with the kids. I'm done with that. And then went on that path. And that's fine.
guess, yeah.
You know, you could do whatever you want. Freedom of speech, freedom of artistry. I'm with that. You know, so I guess I can't really criticize him for not announcing like, hey, I'm going to switch gears. You know, he kind of just did it. And it was like, oh man, but that's what I was thinking. Like, listen, I know 100%, like my kids, you know, I'm going to make sure I try to parent them the best way possible. You can't censor everything. So I was thinking what I was mentioning is like in YouTube, first of all, Lil Nas X, there's an algorithms that go into YouTube, Facebook, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So his name is attached to kids already. That's what I'm saying. That hasn't changed.
Yeah.
So that video can pop up to all kids out there just off this mere fact that it's Lil Nas X.
Yeah.
So what I mean is like, oh my God, a kid, you know,
Can
just
stumble
ran, you know,
across
5, 6 can stumble across the video. It's not going to censor them from it. And then they're going to be watching, you know,
Well, that's where
kissing. I think
age restrictions come in.
yeah,
Right.
you
And
know what
I
I'm saying? The age,
And so
Yeah.
I don't know how his video was put on, but I mean, if you can classify things as like suggestive themes, all this stuff, you know,
right.
and then it wouldn't be like on
Censored
YouTube
on.
Kids specifically, you know,
Right.
because that's a whole other
But
thing.
that's a sad thing though. A lot of kids don't even use YouTube Kids.
Well, that's
They use that
I mean,
until, like,
I guess
age 4.
that's a whole thing of like internet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's so
Yeah.
much more access now.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. Like I get kids can grasp sexuality at 100%. Like my kids gonna understand what being gay and, you know, being everything. They're gonna understand, you know, sexuality in general. They have to, you know, but however, I feel like there's certain things that they need not see at that age. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like some things can be excessive. Like you can get the concept of sexuality, but I don't want my kids stumbling across a guy, guy or a girl, right? It's not just gay. Like it's not just because he was a guy, you know, kissing a guy. If it was a video of a guy and a girl making out, or a video of a girl twerking on a guy, I don't
There's
want
no
to
reason.
see
There's
that.
no reason a 5-year-old needs to see that. Regardless of who it is.
But I'm with Miles. I'm with Miles 100% because I think Miles, it was good that he explained it because he broke it down in a way I didn't think about. Lil Nas's, like I didn't think about the agenda against gay people and how Lil Nas was releasing it as like, I didn't think of it like that. I thought of it as like, oh, he's making a difference. He's going viral, right? Because I think Lil Nas is a troll. Okay, so he's extremely talented at going viral. He just knows what, I don't know. He's a genius. Like he knows what to do. And so I was like, okay, he's going viral. He's about to, you know, because it was #1 for like a week. Like he knew what he was doing. He made a smart decision. But I was like, no one knows. He had just marketed to kids. I'm like, that's where, but I get what Miles said, and it made me look at it from a different perspective. So now I'm like, okay, I get it, but also he was doing it for this reason, and props to him. Like I think that's ballsy.
I can see saying like I can see like if you have like not upcoming, but a famous artist saying like, okay, now I want to do this. I can see if you want to say like, all right, this one's not going to be for kids. Yeah. We're switching gears. This one's not for kids.
And that's fair.
But it's like, it's still a thing. This is still a real thing in society that you can't bar from everybody.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can't just ban this just because it is. I think that's the point.
Yeah, just the whole announcing thing. That's a courtesy, though. It's not a requirement.
Definitely.
Exactly. It's never a requirement.
I think, like you were saying, if we say troll, but I think at the same time it's kind of a shock factor thing. I think that's what he's always done.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they were playing it on Fox News and everything. I mean, that's the thing for him. It's like he's in everybody's he's in everybody's mouth right now. Like he's in everybody's mouth. And but like we're sitting here talking about it. It's the first thing that we decided to talk about when we could have talked about anything.
Anything.
I was going to ask how you guys were.
We didn't even really announce the podcast like we normally. We didn't even start it like we normally do. We were just like Satan choose.
Yeah,
and here we are.
I kind of like this. I kind of like just jumping into the topics. Honestly, like they know us. They know us. I think announcing it here and there is cool, but they know.
Especially
the people
today,
listening know who we are.
Since we have no topic.
Yeah, this is Into the Rabbit Hole. That's the name of the episode.
Did you do that on purpose because it's Easter, or?
I don't think
actually no.
I figured you weren't, because you called it rabbit hole before. You called tangents rabbit holes usually. Yeah. It just so happens that we're recording on Easter Sunday and it's coming out Easter Monday.
Happy Easter, y'all.
Yeah. Merry Christmas.
Jesus rose. But nah, man, that's insane, man. That's insane. I mean, hey, we're in 2021. I think at this point, if you're not open or accepting of some of these things at this point, and mind you, I grew up around a bunch of old school people. So like,
right,
for the people I knew as a youngin', like, what I'm saying, words were said about people that can't be said anymore. Like it was, I grew up in a different area, and I think at this point, even those areas are transformed now. So there is no excuse. You don't have to like it. You don't have to, support, I guess, but at least accept. Just accept the fact that people are gay. People are expressing their sexuality. People are trans, right? Like this isn't a new thing. Now people are non-binary, which is something that took me. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. The whole non-binary community, it took me a long time, and I'm still working to understand it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in this, it gets to a point where it's like, and this is just my opinion, 100%. And mind you, I am open to all sexualities. I accept them. I'm not, homophobic in any way. But for somebody that grew up where I grew up and lived my life, I guess, and was around the people I was for so many years, I guess the new ideas of newer sexualities that are coming out are kind of like,
that's not even a sexuality. That's a gender identity.
Gender. I'm sorry. Gender identity. My fault. Gender identity, but gender identity and sexualities, because there are a lot of new sexualities coming out. Like, what I'm saying,
a lot of the times the conversations are had at the same time. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're intertwined. So it's like the gender identities, the sexualities, all of that. Some of them I'm hearing, I'm just like, what I'm saying? I'm trying to grasp it, because you got some people that are saying like, yo, you can love a tree. Seriously, like there are people out there that say that, and they like fight behind it, and I'm like, whoa. Or you can be a chihuahua if you want to be. And I'm just like,
and that's the very extreme side of all that.
Extremely extreme, what I'm saying? And it's a process. It's a process, it's
my whole thing about that, because there were definitely times where I'm like, okay, like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Where I'm like, where you kind of raise an eyebrow, but I think it all comes down to just if it makes you happy and if you're not hurting anybody else,
go for
why do I care? And it comes back to that,
right.
Like if you're not hurting anybody else, you're happy, right? What?
Yeah,
it doesn't affect me.
It's not
my life. Like, cool,
No.
go do you like?
Yeah,
and I'll
100%.
fight for your right to be able to do that, as long as you're not hurting anybody, it's not
Yeah.
a detriment to anybody else, and you're happy.
Mhm.
So I think, and there are, like I said, there are times where you raise your eyebrow and you're like, interesting, didn't hear that, but you educate yourself about it to the best of your ability. Sometimes you still may fundamentally like disagree, but as long as you're able to be like, you know what, I don't understand that, but hey, if it makes you happy, cool, I'm here for you, I
Right.
support it, and work towards that understanding.
Yeah.
Though the generalized gender non-binary thing is very easy for me to understand, no grasp. But of course, I grew up in a different area than you did, so
Of course, yeah.
being able to say like, like, oh yeah, no, like that whole that thing makes sense. It makes sense to me. Like, okay, you don't want as a general thing, you don't want to identify either way, because the binary can be confining, or you don't really strongly identify either way. So it's just to be like, it's easier to be like, I'm somewhere in the middle, or maybe even you lean more one way or the other, but it's just like, you're just kind of like, I don't fully agree, because I mean, gender identity is, it's a spectrum. You're never, and gender identity and gender expression, you're just very, I mean, it falls on a spectrum, and it's not, there's nothing very there's nothing finite about it. In some aspects, people are more feminine, they lean more towards the feminine side, or they lean more towards the masculine side. The binary is really just a representation of each side of that spectrum, so to speak, like each extreme side of that spectrum. And oftentimes it's very reductive. It's kind of a false dichotomy to say, well, you're either this or you're that, or because you might express it in a different way. I mean, that goes into like expression of masculinity, because there are people who maybe identify as male, but like maybe they act more quote unquote feminine, right?
Right.
Right. But it's it's just more so like, how do they choose to express their gender? Because I mean, there's your medical sex, right? Which that does have credence, that has weight. But your gender expression, your gender identity that's a social concept, because gender is how that is expressed socially, how your medical sex is reflected in a social setting. So I mean, really, it can be anything that you want to make it, depending on how you want to present that socially.
Yeah.
And I think that, again, like, as long as you go about it and you're not hurting anybody, and you're not using it like here's one identity that people are trying to come up. It's called MAPS, which stands for a minor attracted person, a pedophile, essentially.
Oh.
Yes.
See,
so
that's
that's wrong.
So that's hurting people.
No, yeah, so
we're not going to do that, bro.
See, that's what I'm
Are
saying.
you serious?
Yeah, that's like a thing that certain people are trying to do, and stuff like that is very hurtful to the LGBT community, because then people lump those people in with them and say, well, look, they're all like, what I'm saying, like they spew this hate, and that's not.
But that's not
The vast majority of the LGBT community doesn't align with that, and they disavow them for the most part. So so stuff like that, there's some stuff like that that's hurtful to the community, that makes the whole look bad. You're judging the whole by this, that's not even a part of it. Like, it's just people who are trying to use this air as inclusiveness to sneak their sick their sick shit in. Like, if you're a minor attracted person, you're a pedophile and you're disgusting. We're not compromising on that. There's no, oh well, this and that. No, that's a problem. You should get that checked out, because that's not okay.
Wow, bro. Wow. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. So stuff like that, because and that's the thing, that hurts. That hurts a lot of people in that situation.
But here's the thing, is that's not a thing, like it's not readily accepted by the LGBT community. Not a thing.
Yeah.
So something that people are trying to make a thing so that they can be pedophiles. Yeah. That's not cool.
Something like about, I remember seeing a tweet from one of our friends who went to high school with, and she was talking about how like the Tumblr era of like things where there was like a chart with a bunch of different like random like gender identities. Some of them were very redundant, and she was talking about like how like it was very, that whole thing was very hurtful to the LGBT community, because it people lost credibility in a way, because it was just like, oh, you know, like I forget, something like there's just it was a lot of it didn't make sense, where it was like, you know, like it was like, oh, you just chose a different word for something that already exists, like that already exists.
It was like a caricature of like a bunch of,
it wasn't necessarily, people were, I think it was people were trying to be part of that community, like they're trying to be like, oh, I'm part of this, when really it was like, oh, I'm straight and I just want to say, it was something like there's stuff like, oh, I'm only attracted to smart people, so that makes me something sexual.
Oh
yeah, that's
where it was just stuff like that, where it's like, dude, you're not helping anything, like you're not like, stop, like that's not doing anything. Or stuff where it was like literally the definition of it was like it was like, oh, hey, I'm male or I'm female. Like it was literally just like, you know, hey, here's the binary, but we're gonna call it something different. And
oh yeah, I know what you mean. That's,
and it was just kind of like, well, no, that already exists, and you just came up with a different name because you didn't want to be labeled as cis or straight or what have you. And it was just like, that's not how that works. Because now what you're doing is, people look at that, they see that, and they're like, hey, that's ridiculous. And now they're like, well, this whole thing is ridiculous. And then actual people like in the LGBT community get hurt by that. So stuff like that. And I think that's where a lot of misconceptions come from. Is because, you know, especially if you're around in that era when everything was, again,
vroom.
They just going up and down, man. Up and down, up and down.
Jesus. But like stuff like that, where it's like, you know, people just they would essentially make stuff up.
Am I still frozen?
Yes.
Yeah.
You like come back in every few minutes. But yeah, stuff like that. Whereas like people will just essentially make stuff up, and it was actually hurting the credibility, social credibility of the LGBT community.
Yeah. I mean, it's and the thing is, the LGBTQ community already goes through a hard enough time. You know, with everything. I feel like it's, you know, my sister is gay, and I don't know. I feel like I grew up, you know, and I'm not gonna lie, man. We, you know, I guess as a child, gay people, it was known and it wasn't foreign, you know, at least not to me, because again, like my sister is gay, but it was, you know, it was like it was minimal. We didn't see it a lot. So, and I that's where I have a huge problem with, personally, people not in the, I don't want to say in the LGBT community, but maybe like people in the surrounding communities, you know, that attack those that are ignorant. Because I think there are two ways of you being ignorant about sexuality. Either you genuinely don't know, which somebody like myself genuinely just did not know a lot of this stuff. Like I didn't know, right? Or you purposefully choose not to know.
Yeah.
So those people that purposefully choose to just shut it out, like, nah, I don't care, it's not important to me. Yeah, okay, criticize those people, like definitely, because you're choosing not to accept those people as human beings, and you're saying that they're not even worthy of your consideration. Like in your mental Rolodex, you shouldn't even understand what bisexual is. Like, to think that is sick.
Yeah,
I'm 100% with criticizing those people. But when you have people that are genuinely ignorant but don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think there's a certain line, and I think a lot of people, I think it can get a little dangerous, because I've seen online, I mean, the hate. We talked about cancel culture. We talked about things like that. You know what I'm saying? And I could just be having a general discussion with a couple of friends. You know, maybe I might ask them a question. You know, or maybe I might say like, "Yo, what's that?" You know what I'm saying? And if for somebody in the community to come at you like, "Oh, how do you not know? Oh, you're homophobic." Oh, and I mean, it happens a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yo, you know, and it's always somebody, in my opinion, I feel like, that was privileged enough to grow up in an environment where you see that. You were privileged enough to grow up in an environment where somebody sat down and talked to you about that. Yeah. Not everybody was, right? Well, I mean, there are environments out there where you go to Jamaica, people are getting killed because they're gay. Yeah. Right. Like, there are places where being gay is,
it's a death sentence. It is
death sentence. It's taboo.
so when you're growing up in those communities, even if you're not, like, it's not talked about, or
No.
there's no understanding like that is happening. And I think that's definitely an important thing, is being able to have these conversations, and really about any social issue. And I mean, we're talking about a little bit like kind of approaching it from a standpoint of why, why is that? I know with you, there have been times specifically kind of where I've been like, hey, like, this is why. No, not to like call you out or anything, but like,
no,
you know what I'm saying? But it's like, just to say like, hey, like that wasn't okay, here's why it is. And then you say, oh, okay. And you've been very good about being like, oh, I didn't know that, thanks for telling me. And and then it's all good, and there's no problem. There are people that definitely kind of go overboard, and the first thing they do is attack. And then sometimes you also have to think, well, why is that happening? Like, say if they're part of the community, because I like to try and understand all sides of an argument. While I don't necessarily agree with the first thing to be is to attack it, I definitely think that the first thing you should do is always try to educate. But I can also understand, right? Say being part of the LGBT community, right? Let's say I'm gay, and all my life I've let's say all throughout my life I've been verbally abused, physically abused, what have you, emotionally abused for that fact.
Right.
And so now I'm conditioned. I'm in fight or flight mode every time I have an interaction with somebody. So the moment somebody says something that's like, whoa, that brings me back to physical abuse, that brings me back to emotional abuse. You know what I'm saying? The first thing I'm going to do is it's either, I shrink up or I come at you.
Right.
And so from that perspective, I can understand saying, like, I can understand those people being like, well, jumping to conclusions first that you're, hateful, you're a bigot or whatever.
Of course.
Before saying, whoa, maybe you just weren't in the situation. Maybe you just weren't in the environment, raised in the environment where you could know these things just off the top of your head.
Right. And that's another example of privilege, right?
Yeah.
And it's true. Like, of course you've been through trauma, like you definitely going to have that fight or flight reaction, but it's like, what I'm saying? Like,
it's absolutely a privilege
I know
thing.
of, you know what I'm saying? In places like that's where it creates like a slippery slope, because it's like, now
it's
somebody came at me, and it's like, if you're in another area, right? I'm in my head, we talking fight or flight, we talking about trauma, we talking about what happened in the past.
Exactly.
You come at me like that, if I'm having a bad day or if I'm the wrong dude, you could lose your life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You came at me another way. You want to talk about trauma? Okay. You could really not be here anymore. And that's where I feel like we have to limit that, because you never know where somebody's coming from. Not everybody's been Howard County, Montgomery County, Cakewalk. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody has the patience. Patience is a big thing too, because I'm not a very patient person. I can be, I think, with certain people, but I think if I don't know you and you want to disrespect me, I'm not going to be that patient.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Of course, I'm not going to like straight wail on you. I'm not that. But, like, I will definitely assert myself, and that's why I think we have to approach it from, like Tim said, the place of why, from both sides, right?
Absolutely.
Like, hey, I don't agree with what you said. Let me tell you why. Okay, great. Explain to me exactly what I said wrong, how it was wrong, and what I can do to improve. Tell me that. But tell me calmly and, professionally, because, like, I'd never say something.
Because I think that's like, and mind you, we're not even talking about the people that are purposely trying to not learn anything. That's out of this interaction. We're talking about people who just genuinely don't know. I want to make sure that's clear for everybody that's listening or watching or whatever.
If you come to a point in which someone will not and refuses to learn,
then
walk away.
Have at it, or walk away. But
I say walk away.
Walk away.
I say walk away, because it's not. There's no point in having at it, because it's just going to escalate until somebody loses their life, or someone gets a charge. And so the best thing you can do is walk away from that. Anyway,
but we promote peace here on the TurnDown podcast.
For the most part.
For the most part.
Brings up the clip of Miles saying he's gonna dance on Robert E. Lee's grave.
Hey, that's
not
peaceful.
Technically.
I'm not hurting anybody that's alive.
Man.
Maybe like the sons of the Confederacy or daughters of the Confederacy or whatever they're called. But I don't care about them.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
We dance
We
on
always-
racist graves here at the TurnDown podcast.
I feel like somehow we're always more serious when we don't have a topic.
You know, we'll find the clips.
I mean, it's all good. I'm all good with it. But I was noticing that, like,
It's gonna.
And
it's-
honestly-
I think the same thing happened first episode.
I think it's about to get more serious because I just thought of something tangent wise.
ooh, let's see where this goes.
We got a big we're gonna see where this goes because I definitely think this is gonna be where we throw the wrench. This is gonna be the wrench. This is gonna be the wrench because I have a view on this.
Let me
I have a
drink
view
my
on this,
water.
and I know you guys have. I don't think we've ever had a serious conversation. We've had like little ones, but like
All right,
I know you guys have thought about this. So Colorado happened.
Yeah.
Colorado happened. Crazy guy walked in the store, 21 years old, killed multiple people. White, so he lived, as we know, happens a lot.
As it be.
As it be, you know.
That's what it
And,
do, Yugi.
That's what it do, Yugi.
Pot of greed.
You never saw this.
Crystal cards.
That's
Sorry.
not what it does. That's not what it does. That is what it does.
That is what it does. That's what it do,
Yugi.
Yugi.
What the-
It's yeah.
It's a
People
video.
know that video.
Anyway,
Look up pot of greed.
Pot of greed.
pot of
That's what it
greed.
do,
y'all.
Yugi.
Anywho,
All right, continue. Casey.
Anywho, guy walks into the store, murders a couple of people, gets off. He's in the hospital somewhere, so he's still living. Big topic,
Mhm.
as I always feel is the case after these shootings, is gun control.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Very big discussion, very big debate. Where do y'all stand on the whole thing? Again, I think this is going to be the wrench. Because I definitely have my way of thinking about this, and I think y'all know. I think we've talked a little bit
Yeah,
about
we
it.
did.
I think we talked about
You know what I'm
it the other day,
saying? And it's
Peter.
it's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
My generalized view, like we have a segment of rights, everybody does. Trust me, we're moving in like what, June, July.
yeah.
I'm gonna get my concealed carry. Like that's what it is.
Mm.
Like absolutely.
Yeah.
Like,
If I lived in the city, I'd get one.
Yeah,
You know,
like-
I think protection is important. You know, we've also talked about like, you know, you have to be as safe as possible
Yeah.
with that.
I mean, being safe and
yeah.
everything, and that's what I'm saying. Going through the proper channels.
but also
do
like
I-
no one
Yeah.
needs automatic weapons to
I don't
protect
need-
your
yeah.
home.
Mm.
I don't think
don't-
anybody needs automatic weapons to protect your home, man.
Oh,
If I can mow down a school with it, I don't think you should own it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if I can clear out a room in less than a minute, I don't think that there's any reasonable reason for me to have that weapon. Just from the safety perspective, because who knows who can get onto it? Because a lot of these times when people get access to these weapons, a lot of times it's like, oh, it was my dad's gun. You know,
Mhm.
oh, you know, it was my parents' gun. We just had it, and I just had it, and now I took it to the school, and now you have first graders dead.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think from that perspective, like that access should be restricted, or at the very least, there should be there needs to be a better vetting process. You know what
I
I'm saying?
agree.
There
Thank
definitely
you.
needs to be a better
It
video.
shouldn't-
Thank you.
At
It
the
should
very
be
least.
easier to get a weapon than it is to get
Yes.
like a car, because people talk about like, oh, licensing and everything. Oh, it's like I don't. And here's the thing: I don't think for the most part, as far as policy goes, most politicians haven't been on the left haven't been like, we're taking away guns across the board. I don't think that's been the main thing from most, because you have to also think about the Democratic Party, right? The Democratic Party is really just Republicans that wear blue for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a select
You're,
few.
you're
and the thing
hearing,
is,
it's-
you're
what I'm
hearing
saying.
the most vocal on Twitter, sure.
Yeah, you
but
hear-
the ones
yeah,
who are
yeah,
making the
yeah.
laws,
The ones who are actually
They're
making
not
the
doing
laws
that,
are
yeah.
not actually saying like, let's take away them. They're saying, let's regulate this so that we,
Yeah.
you know, stop having 6 mass shootings a month. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
there definitely needs to be something done that we're not doing, because thoughts and prayers aren't cutting it at this point. Because before you
Yeah.
know it, it could happen at Old Mill. It almost did a
Yeah.
few times.
yeah.
yeah,
know what I'm
dude
saying?
bought a revolver. And funny thing is, I
And-
worked with that dude. I knew who that was
Yeah.
too. It's crazy.
Wow.
So like, and
But he wasn't trying to kill nobody. That's the
Yeah.
thing. I know, dude. He was just trying to show off.
Yeah.
So it's sad, you know.
Which
It
is
sucks,
also
but like,
something.
it's terrible, right? But you know, yeah.
but
that's-
even then, like, it's only a matter of time before somebody comes to UMBC.
Mhm.
And then what? Now I'm dead. Now Tim's dead. What are you gonna do, Kendrick?
What
You know
am I
what I'm
gonna
saying?
do? Yeah. I know what
You
you
know,
mean. I know
yeah,
what you mean. But this
like
is,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying. You know what I'm saying. Like
I agree with
it's
you.
there needs to be something that's done that we're not doing because it's such a uniquely American problem. Like I'm not saying mass shootings don't happen anywhere else. What I'm saying is that it happens here at a rate that is asinine.
Yeah, America's numbers are definitely a lot higher than a
And
majority of countries. We're like in the middle of the pack. We're like upper, and compared to the other, when you look at the other countries above us, it's like, should we be in the middle of the pack or should we be at the bottom?
yeah,
Because
no,
we're comparing ourselves to like certain
these like war-torn
countries.
that of course
Yeah.
they're having mass shootings because
Yeah.
every day is a mass shooting because it's a war-torn country. We
Yeah,
shouldn't
yeah.
be up among those numbers.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Not if we're supposed to be quote unquote the greatest country in the world. And I think the whole argument, like I always hear well, we need the good guy with the gun. That the access to access to firearms that we have, there should have been enough good guys with a gun to stop it, and they haven't. So obviously that's not the answer.
Yeah, and this is where I definitely I agree with you. And Miles, that was an excellent point because that's where I was actually going to lead to. Like personally, when it comes to automatic weapons, right? This is me, right? I understand, right? Like criminals are going to get them. This is what I'm thinking, right?
Because criminals are criminals.
Criminals are
the law.
criminals. They're going to break the law, right? So they're going to get the automatic weapons, right? Period. They're going to have them. In my opinion, and studies have shown this in a number of countries that have tried this. In most situations, Japan is an outlier. Japan is a big outlier.
Japan,
they
Australia,
limit the amount of Australia. They limit the amount of weapons.
They have knife crimes.
Exactly. The guns are limited. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing about criminals. They're going to be criminals. They'll find a way to.
They're going to be criminals. So, but in most situations,
that's the thing. You can't mow down a movie theater with a knife. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Which is sorry to cut you off a whole bunch, but
no. I understand. Like, but the thing is, if you want to kill, you're gonna kill, right? Like you're gonna go out and find a way to do it. My thing about the whole concealed carry and owning your own, I am a big, and actually me and Simon Joshnick, we just had a conversation about this. We've been DMing back and forth, and we're definitely like we're definitely here. Like he's definitely with me on a lot of things. I am not a fan of too much government interference. And I'm not Republican. I'm not Democratic. I think it gets to a point where the gun control becomes more so about the control and a lot less about the guns. I think the guns are a problem. I definitely think people with the wrong hands on the guns are the biggest issue. That is the problem. And until we figure out a comprehensive way to stop that, we're going to be in a never-ending cycle.
Well, I mean,
I'm with that.
Yeah. So I know we, for the most part, we agree that we should have the right to bear arms because I know we've both talked about like we're gonna have a peace because there's like we need to be able to defend ourselves if the need comes, especially as Black men, where police don't like to come and help us. So we need to take matters in our own hand because police are really only good for reactionary stuff. They don't stop crime. They report on crimes. Especially for Black and brown people.
Yeah.
So I would agree with like there needs to be control, but also I think that argument comes back to the whole Second Amendment thing. Well, I'm stopping myself against a tyrannical government. I think when the Second Amendment was written, that was a very feasible thing. But we're also at a day and age where the government has drones.
Yeah.
Like the government has a motherfucker sitting 150 miles away from here who can kill you, like blow your whole entire city block up and go have lunch 20 minutes later and not feel a thing about it. So I think we're past the point of if the government wants to be tyrannical, it's going to be tyrannical. And there's not really much that the citizens can actually do about it. Now, if let's say like enough members of like individual members of the military say like, hey, we're not with this. That's one
right.
thing.
Yeah.
Because that's what they would use to oppress us.
Right.
But I mean, you see it all the time because men just following orders, the way people spin things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So and that's how you have situations. That's how you have situations like Nazi Germany where people don't realize they're being oppressed because it's like it's spun in a way that's like, no, this is great. This is fantastic. Like we're great.
Yeah.
So we're past the point of that argument really having much weight.
That's an interesting point.
Simply because like technology does
Mm.
not allow for us. The technology that the government has access to does not allow for us to fight back if they want to pop off. Realistically,
Of course.
like
Of
that's
course.
just what it is. So now the argument should be focused on, all right, well, we have, elementary, middle, high school age kids dying, multiple times a week. You have people going into malls shooting up, going to movie theaters shooting them up. There needs to be something done that we're not doing. And
It's definitely not just one thing either.
yeah. And as And as time goes on, it's like, all right, I mean, like you read Onion articles every time that for the past like 2-3 years that a mass shooting has happened, the Onion has posted the same article. Right.
Yeah. It's like it's getting more true by the year.
Yeah.
There's nothing we could do about this as the only country that this happens in regularly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like what could we do? How could we stop this? We know how to do it. The problem is, one, the NRA is in the pockets of the government. So nobody's going to do anything, because if I'm now, this is awful because they're playing with our lives, right? But if I'm thinking from the perspective of a corrupt politician, the NRA is not in my pockets. What do I care about gun control? Oh, your kid just died. Oh well, I'm $500,000 richer. Fun, like you know what I'm saying. Like, not saying that's how I think, but I'm thinking from the perspective of
that's politicians.
It's from a politician.
But the thing is, it's not even just that side of the thing where you go to the politicians and they're not open to it. It's the politicians that are fighting for gun control. Like, you really think a lot of these politicians that say, yeah, we need gun control, are doing it for the mere fact that they care about kids?
Oh, no. It makes them look good. It makes them look good.
It makes them look good. They want to win an election. So if you got to get your seat back and you can say, yo, gun control, Parkland happened, gun control. Yeah, of course you're going to do it. It's trendy.
And here's the thing about that too, is that they know it's not going to do anything. Like, nothing's going to pass.
That's happening.
Yeah. I think if there are policies that people are actually pushing for, like in Congress, I think even if it's like, I need to get noticed, I need to get more recognizable. If you're pushing for something that's legitimately going to help the people, who cares? Honestly,
right?
Like, that's what you should care about as policy. So I was going to say something else too. I think I don't think it's just about guns either. I think that we've started socially to push for this, but I think we also need much better mental health
absolutely
care.
Oh my God.
I think that's a huge part of it. I mean, I know that's a huge part of it. I mean, we
and the thing is that
absolutely don't take care of
I've seen people that have reposted stuff, and this is where it gets me. I've seen people that have reposted stuff about gun control, stop the guns, ban the guns. You don't need to own this. You don't need to own that. Okay, I get it. You were the same kid that was bullying somebody in high school.
Mm-hmm.
You were the same kid that was having that kid in the corner looking stupid. You were the same kid that told a person he was ugly, told a person that he looked stupid, told a person that he was wearing a crappy outfit. And you think it's the guns that is the reason that somebody's going out and dying? He would have killed you if he wanted to with anything. At that point, if somebody's in a dark state because of what you did, and the lack of support, in my opinion, in schools, from counselors, from friends, from I mean, what is the point of a guidance counselor? Do you know how many times I talk to my guidance counselor? Now, I'm not all guidance counselors, right? Not all. There's some good guidance counselors out there, but how many times in total did I talk to my guidance counselor in high school? I can count on one hand, and the last 4 were all my senior year when I was trying to go to college. Mm-hmm. Literally, what are you there for? We don't have enough grief counselors. Somebody dies in school. A school like Broadnet, where the suicide rate is insane. I mean, you're talking about multiple kids losing their lives every single year. I think 2018 they hit like 17 kids.
Wow,
17 kids in a year. So it's not necessarily about the guns. If people always harp, AR-15. You know how many people use Rugers, which are basically pistols? It's you know what I'm saying? Like, and then that's the thing. A lot of people don't understand the guns. It's not just AR-15s. When you say gun control, let's ban this, let's ban that. You're banning a lot of weapons. It's not just an AR, it's not just an AK. It's a lot of weapons.
Yeah.
And personally, you know what I'm saying? So we can't jump to that. What else can we do that's realistic that's gonna get done?
There
And
needs
that's
to be a
going to
balance,
help.
I think, with that too, because there are some weapons that just like okay, like there's no reason
you don't need that.
somebody
You don't
living
need that to protect your home. You don't need that for hunting. There's no point.
I agree.
Like,
Yeah.
I agree.
There's a lot in there.
But yeah, there's definitely I think the part of the problem is that people don't have the knowledge of weapons to be able to differentiate.
They don't.
And I mean that's one of those things. Like people educating yourself. As far as the mental health thing goes, yeah, we need better infrastructure for mental health, just in general, but also like
in schools.
Because the thing is, like, say we ban all guns, right? And everything's banned. There's no way a kid can get to it. If you're still bullying that kid and he's still in that dark place, okay, knives aren't banned. How are you going to ban a knife? You need them to cook.
Yeah.
No, he's going to get you done.
He's like
he can make a pipe bomb. You can make a pipe bomb. Dude.
Granted, a knife is I have a better chance of surviving being stabbed by a knife than blown through,
depends who's stabbing you and where they stab you.
Yeah, but like in general, as a
you're talking, also
generalization, of course,
especially if you're in a group setting.
As a generalized thing, right? I'd much rather be stabbed by a knife than shot, because at least I have shot a bunch. Like if somebody brings an automatic weapon in school, like chances are that I'm going to survive the knife. If I'm more likely to, not chances are, but I'm more likely to survive the knife than being shot up. And with a knife, like that's because that's a physical weapon. It's easier to fight somebody off who's attacking you with a knife because they have to get in close. So you at that point it's like, okay, we're throwing hands then. Like at least I might die, but I'm not gonna go out, not fighting. At least I have that opportunity. With a gun, I mean, you can stand, 50, 60, 70 yards back and blow my head off.
Yeah.
So,
and I think we should have some form of like metal detectors in schools. I think there are certain precautions that we can take. Of course, a lot of people like to tie metal detectors to like the ghetto and all of that, but it's not a ghetto thing.
I think,
yeah, right. That's a whole thing in itself. But you should definitely have metal detectors in school. Like you want to enter the school, put your bag in, let us scan your bag and walk through. You know what I'm saying? There are certain precautions. I promise you, if every school, now Columbine and certain schools, right, they walked in, they started shooting the school. That's different, right? But there are a lot of school shootings that occur and start within the school.
Yeah.
So if every school had metal detectors and just allowed you to scan in your bags, walk through it and be good, or get swatted or whatever they call that with the wand. You know what I'm saying? If every school implemented that, you'd see school shooting or school violence incidents. They decrease. That's a fact. We don't do that. Police presence. I mean, I'm not saying that cops are everything, right? Like, of course, we're black, so police presence doesn't necessarily help us the best, right? But first of all, how many, a lot of these school shootings happen in privileged areas.
Mm-hmm.
That's where a majority of them happen. They don't really happen in the hood. We're not shooting up schools.
We have,
you know what I'm saying? We got too much.
Yeah, because you got a bunch of SROs in there. Yeah,
you got resource officers all up in there. We ain't shooting nothing up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of it happens in the rich, wealthy, privileged areas, middle class, upper middle class, and then higher, upper class. That's where it happens. So why aren't we talking about a possible police presence out there? You know what I'm saying? There's no way you should have a school with 2,500 kids with 0 police officers there. That makes no sense. That doesn't even make sense. We had 2 at Old Mill.
Yeah, it's also definitely I think a much better option to have more resource officers than giving teachers guns, because
that's terrible. That's
terrible idea. Also, here's the thing too, is that
anybody who's ever student taught.
Yeah, as we're continuing to reform the structure of policing, right, and increasing training and all this stuff, then, or pushing for that at least. If that happens, then you're able to de-escalate situations more, and then even better for resource officers, they're trained to work with this stuff, whereas teachers are like, you're a teacher.
Yeah. No teacher should have a gun in school.
No.
That doesn't make any sense. I mean,
but
oh my god,
it's
some of the teachers that we had. No.
No.
Kids dying.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can name a couple. I'm not going to, but I know a couple right now that if you were in that classroom and if you even looked a certain way, it's being drawn.
Yeah.
It's on you.
So that's the thing.
No
People,
pride period.
yeah, that's the other thing. People
No,
get.
and we
Come
got
be
pride
doing
period
flip-flop.
taken away every single week.
Every
man.
year,
Every
at least
week,
once.
bro. We went from freshman year having a red and blue block to senior year having like
Only
20
lunches.
minutes.
Only
Only
It was
lunch.
lunch.
only
It
lunches.
was only
Only
lunch.
lunch.
We had
And
no
And you know
free
what?
time.
You know who it was? You know who it was? It was those stupid underclassmen. It was the people under us. Because our freshman year, we had some fights. It got taken away like once. The next 2 years, it went from red, blue, black in the beginning, 20 minutes. It was like, yo, so many fights. It was
Yeah.
everyone under us. Ruined it.
Isn't
Also, like,
isn't it always the underclassmen though?
what is that deep in high
Yeah.
school that you
Oh yeah, true.
like feel like
Hey, man.
man?
hot Cheetos and Sprite for breakfast. It's the hot Cheetos and Sprite at 7 in the morning.
My pizza's a
Yeah.
circle, man. My pizza's a circle and it's wheat. Oh. Man, what you looking at, bro? I'm looking at your
I don't
pizza,
want no-
bitch.
Why y'all give me sun chips again?
Hey, those sun chips are good, man.
Hey man,
We only got Texas Pete hot sauce, yo. Where the Tabasco went?
I told y'all this apple juice tastes funny. Nah, man, we had some.
This
we had
milk's
some serious-
expired.
No, dude,
It was.
I got a milk that was 2 weeks old.
Yeah.
And mind you, I
It was
never
either-
drank the milk
Either
But-
frozen or chunky.
or chunky.
Ooh.
And sometimes you might get both. You
Both.
might get a frozen chunky milk.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the chunks come out real solid.
Oh.
And so, because the thing is that
Oh.
tricks you. Because if it's frozen, it's watery.
Part of your
So
balanced
somebody
preference.
might. Ew.
Do you want
Oh,
normal vanilla? No, we didn't get vanilla.
No, we didn't
Normal,
get
No.
vanilla.
strawberry or chocolate.
yeah, strawberry.
Were you
Ooh,
guys?
and the
Were you guys?
strawberry.
Were you guys? Okay, I'm thinking like elementary, middle school now because that
Mhm.
was much. The milk was much better somehow,
What
or
happened
maybe
with
we
the
didn't. Or
quality of the
maybe we
milk?
didn't notice as much. Were you? Were
Mm.
y'all regular milk, strawberry, or chocolate milk?
Ooh, see, I
I
like
was
to switch it up
strawberry.
sometimes. I liked a nice strawberry. I
I
love
I
was
was
strawberry.
strawberry in middle school.
I still am.
Um,
I still have a strawberry milk.
Yeah,
But you know-
strawberry was the joint.
When there wasn't any strawberry around, I'd probably go with regular.
Right. Ooh,
Yeah, I don't know. I was never a big
Regu-
chocolate milk fan.
some regular ass milk right there.
Some white milk. He was a white milk guy.
Yeah,
Hey,
white-
wait, what are you insinuating here, Kendrick?
Why no
sorry,
chocolate?
sorry. Caucasian milk.
Chocolate. Thank you.
European American milk.
Why no melanin milk? Why no melanin? milk?
I was going through a period of self hate.
My
Y'all
brother.
man.
brother.
brother.
Hold on, let me stop joking for Dr. Umar comes and sues our podcast.
Now my
we have so
brother-
much. We have so much money
Yes.
that we need to pay.
We got
right
lawsuits.
now.
we got pending lawsuits.
Lawsuits.
Right
Just like
incoming.
stacked on top of each other.
now. You know what? It's all good. They'll
Yeah,
get their money.
lawsuits upon lawsuits.
Dr. Umar's
upon
gonna
lawsuits.
appear in my dreams tonight.
So you went. So wait, you went up to the lunch
Gifts.
line and donations.
Gifts. Donation.
All right, so-
Donations.
All right, so I want to paint the scene real quick.
Yes,
so
paint the scene for me,
Oh
please.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Paint the picture.
Miles is in line for
Mhm.
30 minutes. Lunch
Yes,
is
30
only
minutes.
35 minutes. You're
Kind of
in line.
ridiculous. Yes.
You're in line for 30 minutes.
Yeah. By
You
the
finally-
way, yeah. What was with that?
They never gave us enough lunchtime. Anyway,
No, not at all.
you're sitting in line. You're waiting, right? People are cutting in front of you all the time. Doesn't matter.
Oh man.
You finally get to get your lunch.
Yes.
They only have circle pizza
Oh.
or oven baked cheese, which is grilled cheese but toasted.
Yes.
Oh, that
So
was
question,
so
question was the
nasty.
circle pizza the Fiesta pizza? Because that kind of
No.
went.
That
It was
slapped.
not. No, that
slapped.
that just shit was good.
Oh,
No
circle
Fiesta
pizza with the
pizza.
cheese that like you could just like you could pull the cheese. You could
Yeah,
just like
and it was
put your
wheat,
fingers on
and it
the
was wheat,
cheese.
so it was always like burnt.
Yes.
Oh, that was
All right,
bad. That
So
was
you got
so bad.
pizza or oven toasted cheese. What you getting?
Oven toasted cheese,
Ooh.
bro.
Yeah.
Oven
Oven
toasted
toasted-
cheese.
you
Gotta
can't
go with
mess up an oven
toasted
toasted cheese.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Right.
the thing is, because guess what? I can go to Meisner's office and heat it up.
That's true.
Shoot.
That's true. All right. So you get that.
Yeah.
Get some
Okay.
like you get the curly fries or whatever. There's a hair in
course.
it. It's fine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know,
All right, you pull it out.
happens. Nutrition. Yeah.
And
Roughage.
you see the milk. There's no strawberry milk left. There's only
Okay.
chocolate and regular milk left.
Yes.
And you say, "Give me that regular milk."
Oh,
The lunch lady looks at you and says, "Type your number in." And so you type your number in. Boop, boop,
yes.
boop, 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 boop.
I still remember it. 634-687. I hope that's not gonna come back to bite me in the butt.
Oh my god. I don't remember
That's
that at
probably
all.
another person's number now.
Oh yeah, of course. They recycle them.
But all right. Did the lunch lady ever tell you need counseling?
So
Can
listen.
I get that
Well,
regular milk? Are you
Baby,
okay?
you running a fever.
Man,
You good, baby?
You all right, baby?
I think my arm fell off.
Slavery's been over, baby. You can choose
Go
the
to the-
chocolate milk.
Go to the nurse. You go to the nurse's office.
Go to the nurse.
Your arm is off. You're bleeding profusely.
Ice pack.
They're
Not
like,
even ice pack.
They
Here's a paper
put it.
towel
They
that we
they
wet.
put it. They put a thermometer in your mouth.
Put in the freezer.
They put a thermometer in your mouth. which
What's
you
your
sit there-
temperature?
You sit there for a minute. You don't have a fever. They're like, here's an ice pack. And
Yep.
so it's a frozen paper towel inside of a Ziploc bag. And they're like,
Mhm.
now go back to class. And you're like, my arm
Is
Is missing.
It doesn't exist.
I am bleeding
Bro.
profusely. I need help. And they're like, do you need to call your parent? And you're like, I need to call 911.
What's going on?
I need to call God.
Anyway, that's for anyone. I need to call. Are you there,
Yo.
God? It's me, Miles.
My
Jesus
arm is
Christ,
gone.
it's my nigga.
Oh,
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Sword of power.
He's the son of the
Shield.
original G.
Oof. Jesus. Yes.
Shout out,
Jesus.
shout out to
Oh,
DMX. I think
GMC, JCUC.
Shout out to Jesus on this Easter
Shout out
Sunday.
to Jesus.
This holy
Shout out
day.
to Jesus on this Easter Sunday. Shout out to DMX. I think that Jesus Christ is my. I think they use a DMX beat. Shout out to DMX. Man.
He is
he's
risen.
Yeah.
He
Right
is
there.
risen.
Lil
Yeah.
Jon, get Lil Jon on there.
Oh yeah.
Get better, DMX.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, for real though.
Yeah,
For real though,
yeah.
man. Shout
Like,
out to
actually,
DMX,
shout out
man.
to DMX.
He needs to actually get better, man, because
Get
he
better, man. Like,
crazy. For those that don't know DMX, man, do some hip hop studying. DMX this is sad, man. It's the story of, like, I guess, a talent that was just ruined. You know, DMX in his prime was like with Jay-Z. Like, DMX in his prime was fighting to be the best rapper of all time. Like, he was there. He's performed in front of 80,000 people, right? Like, this is a guy who ran the industry. He was in movies. I mean, DMX was amazing. And drugs, addiction is a serious problem.
Yep.
He's been fighting it, man. And it's
that's
so
what goes
sad.
on. I
When
thought he was
found out
clean for the longest.
he was clean for 2 years. He was clean for 2 years, man. Look at Philip Seymour Hoffman, dude.
True.
Philip Seymour Hoffman was an advocate. He was an advocate for years against addiction. He fought his own addiction. He was sober for like 10 years.
Yeah.
He was sober for a long time. He was found in his hotel room. You know what I'm saying? It's and that's a big thing about the, like we talked about with the guns and therapy and talking to the people. It's like you have to talk. People need to talk to people. And I think there need to be more resources out there for people,
We need to
especially
find
addicts,
resources that we can
recovered
promote
addicts.
for that stuff.
Yeah,
Most definitely. Most definitely. Any mental health advocates, man, please, please, if possible, comments under our YouTube video. If
Absolutely.
not, DM us, because we'd love to have some more discussions about mental health. I think that's something that all of us in some capacity have been affected by.
Yeah.
And at some point, and everybody out there, it's not just
absolutely.
it's not just people who are depressed. It's not just that. Like, if you ever have a moment where you feel like, your goals, you can't even achieve your goals and you're down, you know what I'm saying? Like, that, in my opinion, is a mental health thing. Like, you need to talk to somebody.
I think something that at least I'm prone, or at least I was prone to when I was younger, is saying like, this is small. Like, this is just a small thing. It's not good enough to say like, oh, I have issues, like, it's not big enough. I'm not like clinically depressed. But like, man, if you're going through something, you're going through something, and it's not,
of course,
that's always important, and so,
of course, never invalidate, Yeah,
Don't
and I've
invalidate
learned over
yourself.
time, like, don't invalidate yourself and don't invalidate other people. You know,
Absolutely.
everybody goes through different things. Like in my life, I've gone through certain things, and I've had to scratch and claw to get to where I'm at. I'm scratching and clawing to get to where I'm gonna be. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I know I wasn't given some of the privileges that my friends, my peers, like Miles, Tim, like, you
Yeah.
know, I wasn't given the same privileges as these guys. You know what I'm saying? So there have been moments where if somebody comes to me and is like, yo, I'm sad, yo, I'm going through this, I'll look at you and I'll be like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, because here I am, 10 cents in my account. My, you know, Zoe knows. Okay, I'm gonna tag her in this
Yeah.
clip. Zoe knows.
Yeah.
I remember we drove to Music and Arts training. I had less than a quarter tank, and it was in Greenbelt. I said, we're just gonna have to make it.
Yeah.
We're just gonna have to make it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that was when I got my car from flipping burgers and being in McDonald's for a year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've done it.
You've been there.
You know, and
Yeah.
I've been there, bro. With the car insurance payment, 900 over 3 months. Like, I've been there, you know, but yes,
Yeah,
bro, at
wow.
a premium. When you're added as a driver to, I don't know about other insurance, but I know Geico, you get added as a new driver. I get a car, I get my license 2 months before or a month before. I'm a brand new driver.
Yeah.
So they said, look, we gonna need 975 over 3 months, and then we're also gonna need 275 every month for the next whatever months.
Man,
you know what I'm
that's
saying?
fucked
So
that they do that too. That's a
Bro.
whole other thing.
Bro, and then I also, not to talk about the $400 in repairs I had to put into my car to pass inspection. You know, so like I was going through it. So it was easier for me at that time when someone else brought their problem to me about, oh, you got a bad grade, or oh, you're complaining to me about gas money. I'll
Just to
look
be
at
like-
you. As bad as you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? As bad as I want to look at you and say, bro, shut up. Like, yo, I'm going through this, right? Like, shut up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get
You
it.
got to take a step back and say, you know what? This person's life, this person's trials are different than mine.
Yeah.
You know, I go through something, you don't go through something, but you're going through something, you know, that I don't go through. So we're both going through things. And you got to just be there for people, man. It's not a pissing contest, you know?
Yeah. You know, that especially goes into I mean, that's every relationship, but that's definitely something that I kind of learned again, you know, recently in my own like relationship. Not gonna talk about exactly what happened, but like, you know, it was one of those things where we're having a conversation and then like, you know, I said something like a little too overboard or something like that and like upset her, and you know, I realized it immediately and was like, that was fucking dumb, you know.
Yeah, man.
You know, you say something, you're like, oh fuck, why did I do that?
Been there.
But you know, and so like I apologize and we talked about it and yeah, Miles smiled. So here, but here's the thing though. here's the thing though, is that you know, like, I mean, she was really going through something at the time, and like I like didn't even think about it, you know.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, I'm stressed out because of school and all this, and she's got something totally different, and it's like, dude, what the hell did I just do? You know, like why? And then so like I'm sitting here and I'm already kind of feel like a jerk, but like especially now I'm like, oh my god, she's got all this going on, and I was like, I am such a dick, you know, and so you know we talked about it and it was all good. But it's something that like it's so important to just step back and be like, all right, this person's probably going through something. You don't have to ask them, hey man, I'm sorry, are you going through something? Don't do that. Definitely don't do that. But you know, if they want to talk about it, like, hey man, is everything okay? You know, but it's like, all right, that person might be going through something.
Because that's the thing. Oftentimes when people are like reacting to like smaller things,
and like snapping and stuff,
stuff, it's usually there's something else happening.
Usually something going on. And
I'm with you.
Yeah, and it's just like you just got to step back, and it's so hard to do, but it's so important to just be like, all right, like I know I'm going through something, they probably are too. Let's talk about something, you know. Let's.
I had something Valentine's Day, my freshman year of college. Manny and I were, you know, we were about 7-8 months in, you know what I'm saying, and I had just gotten out of a rehearsal, and it was a terrible rehearsal. I mean, I just did not like how I sounded. I hated the rehearsal. You know, you have those rehearsals where you just get out and you're just like, nah, I gotta go.
Oh, dude.
Like I'm this was not my day. I played a lot of runs wrong. I think my solo sounded like crap. I was just, you know what I'm saying? I just was not feeling it. packed up, drove up. Mind you, it's Valentine's Day, and she was expecting us to do something. And I've changed, and I'm so glad I've matured. I'm still growing, I'm still learning, but I was so focused on myself. And that's another thing. I think going through things, there's a way to handle it, and there's also a way to be around the people. There's a way to treat the people that are there for you.
Yeah.
I think there's a way to treat those people. I think you have to have an etiquette about how you act when you're going through something, because
specifically to those people that are there for you,
specifically to them. Yeah. If it's somebody else who just is asking me to do something that I shouldn't be doing, Miles, we've gotten texts about gigs that to play on from people that we haven't talked to in years.
Yeah.
Right. Like we're not gonna talk about that. Then I might be straight up just rude. Right. Like, yo, look, I got too much going
gigs. It was just like
it was just
play
BS.
my song.
But this is somebody that cares about me. This is this is a girl that has talked to me through a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? And I was 100% just terrible, right? I get there, I don't have no flowers, I don't have nothing. I'm sitting down. What are we gonna do? Like, I don't really care. I've already told her I don't care about Valentine's Day at the beginning of the day. So that's terrible. Like, no one wants to hear that, right? And then here I am, Valentine's Day, the night of, and I'm just not there. I don't care. Like, we're eating. I don't care. And it got emotional, like I could visibly see that she was bothered. You know what I'm saying? And it was that moment. It was that moment. I kid you not, where that happened. And I sat there and I was just, I sat at the table. Of course, it wasn't just that. I'm not going to tell you the whole cookie cutter story. Let's just say I was cussed at and I deserved it.
Yes.
I think you remember, right? I deserved everything. I deserved all the anger. It was not a good day. It was not a good reaction, right? I deserved all of it. But that goes to say, you can go through things 100%. But everybody, hopefully, and if you don't, DM us, right? Like I'm not, I'm not a big, I don't have a big friend group. I don't go out and try to make friends. But if you feel like if you listen to this podcast and you are at home and you have a moment where you feel like you don't have anyone to talk to, shoot one of us a DM. DM any of us, DM the page, we'll respond. Definitely. DM any of us. We can, we will talk to you, we will call you. Like, I never want to have anybody feel alone. I've been alone. You know what I'm saying? I've been there where I didn't have anybody to talk to. I think that's a very dark place to be.
Absolutely.
So, DM any of us and we will be glad to respond to you and hopefully help you in any way that we can. But I think it's also very important, if you're lucky enough to have people around you that will help you in those situations and that have been there for you and are going to bat for you every day. You know what I'm saying? You have to be cognizant of them. It doesn't have to be Valentine's Day. It could just be any day.
Anything.
Don't completely shut them out.
Yeah.
I think that's where it can become a problem for you, right? It's only going to leave you in a darker place because you're shutting them out. They can't help you. And now you're in a position where you may have hurt them and you're all alone. Like, just be cognizant of the people that truly care about you guys. Like, you guys are my brothers. If I'm going through anything and a Manny might not be there to help me, I know I can call one of you guys. If it's serious enough, we'll chat down, we'll sit down and we'll chop it up. You know what I'm saying? But I know mentally I can never let what I'm going through sit here and affect our relationship. Okay. Right? Because I've been there, right? We've been there, like senior year, when I was in a relationship, and I neglected you guys. Like, I wasn't hanging out with you guys as much. I was focused on my life, focused on, chilling. And that's not necessarily me going through something, but it's not being cognizant of the people that truly care about you. Like, I didn't care. And that's not good, and that's, I think just never letting that happen can help you so much. And you'll have those people that you can always talk to, what I'm saying? I think that'll help.
And I think also being aware of stuff like, when you do talk about stuff, absolutely should find people to vent to, but being aware of, the emotional impact that it has on them, because that can also be draining.
Yeah.
I know that was something that really, like, because in the moment you're going to be like, you're not thinking about that right now, of course, because you're thinking like, man, everything's terrible. But at the very least, being like, hey, if after the fact saying like, hey, showing some sort of appreciation, saying thank you, because I know that couldn't have been easy on you either. I appreciate you going out of your way even because I think a lot of times, even if it's at your detriment, you know, you should really show appreciation for that, because people also are going through their own things.
Definitely.
Even when you're, they're even with when they're willing to help, and they're like, no, like don't worry, like help, still show appreciation and be like, you didn't have to do that, because they don't. I mean, like that's the thing. I think it's great. You should definitely find people that are willing to do that for you. But don't take that for granted, I should say.
Of course. And the process is already hard enough, I think, for letting somebody in.
Yeah.
And that's where I was in a spot where it was like, it took me a while to let, my girlfriend into my life. Like, it's not just, people always think it's just like, oh, cute girlfriend. You post pictures, you hang out, you do whatever, and you just your girlfriend. No, it's like, this was a commitment. Like, this is somebody that, in my opinion, I knew was, potentially going to be the person I'm with, like for a long, long time. So it already took me, she already went through so much during that process of me growing and trying to let her into my life. So it's here I am already putting her through that. And then you're also just inconsiderate of like what she's excited about and like what she's, looking forward to enjoying with me.
Yeah.
So that can be dangerous as a friend. If you have a friend, it takes a long time to build a friendship, a brotherhood, a sisterhood. It takes a long time. So when you have those people around you that you've been through the fire, man, you've seen these people low, you've seen them crying, you've seen them depressed, you've seen, I'm saying they've seen you. You've already gone through that. So then to shut down and then just totally like disconnect.
Yeah.
To me, some people might take it as offensive. Like, yo, what the, what I'm saying? We've
just being aware
what you doing?
Of these people, of the people that care about you.
Man.
It's not always cut and dry. Of course, in the moment you're going to be like, I got what I'm worried about. But at the very least, being able to go back and say, hey, thanks for that.
Yeah.
Or
simple thank you goes a long way.
Yeah. Because it one that shows them that you're not just taking them for granted, that they're not just, some emotional dumpster for you. And that it's actually like there's actual some sort of appreciation, and then being able to reciprocate. I mean, if you're in the emotional space to be able to do that, being able to say, like, hey, what do you need to talk about? That also goes a long way, because like I said, everybody goes through everything. The way people, go about it is different. So sometimes it's hard to be like, well, I don't think they're going through anything because they don't show it like I do, but that's. People are different, so it's all about just being like, hey, can I be there for you? But yeah,
who would have guessed Robin Williams was going through what he was going through, bro?
Yeah, exactly. Seriously,
who would have guessed that? Like, who in their right mind? Robin Williams, Miss Doubtfire, Good Will Hunting. I mean, an amazing guy. Who in their right mind would have thought that he was going through what he was going through? I mean, he hung himself. Suicide in general is just it's another it's another level.
Yeah,
but it's the way it happened, and when I heard about it, it was so gruesome. Like Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah,
I was just like, yo, hung himself with a bathrobe. I was like, whoa, like that. Who would have thought? That's all. I mean, that's like, you never know what somebody's going through. You never know how somebody displays depression. Somebody could be depressed and they might display that by joking a lot.
Yeah.
They might try their hardest to be funny, but if you look closely, you'll notice that if nobody laughs at one of those jokes, that person looks crushed because they genuinely tried, like, yo, I got to make these people laugh. I got to make you happy because I'm not happy. And if you don't take the time to learn somebody and take the time to be there for somebody, and ask somebody how they're doing and check up on them, I don't think you'll ever figure those out. And then we'll lose people left and right. We'll lose people left and right because their friends, their buddies aren't taking the time to be there for them. But then it's hashtag rest in peace so-and-so. It's prayers up. It's, condolences to the family. This could have been avoided possibly, man. Like, if you guys would have just talked to him and taken the time to listen, not saying, it's on you or you should feel like this is on you.
Yeah, you don't want to push guilt.
You don't want to push guilt.
That's the whole other thing.
But at the very least, you want to be able to say, like, I did all that I could.
Yeah,
exactly.
you always want to strive for that. Yeah.
I was there for them. Because you can't say, yo, that was my best friend. Oh my God, I'm so sad. But you haven't texted them in months.
And like you
didn't call
do
that
these
person in
things.
months. You knew that person was in an abusive relationship, and you didn't say a word to anybody, or you know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't do anything. But that was my best friend. Rest in peace, man. And it's not only that, it's also the people, I think, that allow their friends to get up and stuff that they shouldn't be getting in, that allow their friends to get in criminal activity, allow their friends to start drinking and smoking when you know that friend has a parent who was massively addicted and possibly lost their lives.
Yeah.
You really think it's a good idea to let somebody whose mother was a chronic alcoholic to drink? You don't realize the effects that could have on them when it's in their bloodstream already.
Right.
Yeah, no, let's go sip this lean. Yeah, let's go drink this whiskey. Dude, his dad died from alcoholism. Dude,
these are
like,
hereditary. So like that's very important. Also, just being able to knowing your friends enough to be like, I don't think you should be doing that. You know, because it's one thing if it's like, you know what, like you know, I know him and he's or know him, her, they, and it's like, you know, I know them pretty well, and you know, I think they can handle that, whatever. But if it's like something like, it's like, I don't know, both your parents are alcoholics, you know, your grandparents are alcoholics, or they abuse drugs, or so on and so forth. Maybe that's not something you should do, because that's a hereditary thing at this point, where you're going to be more susceptible to that. And being able, I think, holding your friends accountable, definitely saying like, now of course there's an extent to that. Like you can't tell people what to do, but at the very least being like, hey, I don't think you should be doing this because, you know, your personality or your family's history with this stuff doesn't it's not going to end well for you.
Personality is a big one too. Personality and what you're going through is huge, man. Because we know somebody in Old Mill that was in that situation. And I remember just hearing about it. I didn't even know either of them, but I remember hearing from somebody who was close to both of them the exact situation and what happened. I think you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And hearing like what happened and how it was done was kind of like, no offense, I was like, how is that person not in jail for murder right now? To some capacity. How?
Yes, I know exactly what
you are responsible. Like it's not good to pass guilt, but you're responsible in that situation.
One who put them in that situation. You're their so-called friend, and you let it get to
you're
this
the
point
buddy.
Where now somebody's dead.
Not only that, not only did you let it get to this point,
you were the one
you
who's
gifted it.
Yeah, no, you were the one who's egging it on. It wasn't just like you let it get somewhere. You were the one who was essentially doing it.
Where was the substance who got the substance?
Yeah.
You.
Took me a second. Now I know.
Yes.
Yeah. Now you know. Like I remember, and I don't know either of them. Yeah. But I just heard the story of chronologically, this is how it happened. This was a good guy. He was this, and then boom, it went down this path, and then boom, he's gone. Yeah. Oh, how is he gone? Oh, he was given something by X person when he knew X person knew he should not have had that.
Yeah.
And he's no longer here.
Yeah.
And it's just, oh my God, my best friend is gone. # rest in peace. I'm at his funeral. How can you look his parents in the face?
Yep.
How? How can you look his parents in the face and say, you know what? I loved your son. No. I'm just shocked no criminal charges were brought against dude. I'm appalled. Like to this day. That's But that's what I'm saying that's what we talking about the friends, man. That's what we're talking about. You have friends that you know shouldn't be doing certain things. You have friends that you know need help. They need people to talk to. You know what I'm saying? Like some friends need help.
I think that's the difference between like a casual friend and like really an acquaintance and like a true friend. Your true friend will tell you when you're messing up. You know, an acquaintance doesn't care enough about you to be like they'll enable you to do whatever because it's like, okay, I don't care. A true friend is able to tell you like, hey, you're messing up. Like that's not okay. Or, you know, I don't think you should do that because they care about you. And they care about your well-being. But yeah, topic got very dark all of a sudden.
Yeah,
it got dark, man.
What y'all listen to in the background?
Yeah,
they're watching ET, I think.
Oh, this is just
Aaron.
Oh, sad.
Yeah. Sorry.
Good old.
We're in the rabbit hole.
E.T..
Let's make some clippable moments, boys.
Did you guys watch did you guys watch the video I sent you, the apology
Yes.
SNL skit?
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Fucking
Kalu.
with Daniel Kaluuya. Yeah, so there's the SNL skit, and it was making fun of like apology videos that are not sincere at all. And he's like, "Yo, what's up, guys? It's Maddie Monroe, and we're out here, prank posse." And then it was like, "What are these mouse bones?" And then the next, and then Daniel Kaluuya is like, it's like, "Man, they feeding you mouse bones. That's illegal. Damn. And then the next video is like, "Hey y'all, it's me." It's the white guy, obviously looking like David Dobrik / Logan Paul, like a mix between the two.
Slash every
Every single, yeah. And he's like, "So this last video blew up." And it's crazy. And then he's like, "Some of my past came up, and all the allegations and things like that. Well, it's true, and I'm sorry that it happened." And he's like, "And I'm really no." He doesn't even say sorry. He says "sar." He's like, "I'm so
sorry.
Yeah. And then it's like apology. And then he's like, "Yo, what's up? We're back." And he drops a TV on on Daniel Kaluuya's head. Oh my god, it's so funny. He's like, "I did you see
the James Charles thing, man?
That's what I was thinking.
Miles and I
exactly.
That, man.
Yeah.
Miles and I watched that. That was
Here's the thing
terrible.
about that, right? This isn't the first time that's happened.
Man, he's apologizing left and right.
Not even just
like
not even just the cancel culture thing.
bad.
This specific thing about talking to minors, like this is not the first time that's happened to him.
No.
I don't know about you. The first time I can be like, okay, they lied to I can I highly doubt it.
A few times.
Yeah, I highly doubt this is what happened, but I can it is plausible to say that the first time you genuinely did not know and they lied about their age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That happens.
I'm just thinking from a self-preservation standpoint, if that happens to me once, right?
Why would you
get off
the
internet, yo?
I'm getting off the internet. I'm vetting everybody that I come into contact with. Are you
absolutely.
serious? I'm like, I need ID, like before we even speak to each other. Like, like, so
wow.
For this to be like it's like the third time, and it was two different people this time.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Which is just like, okay.
Terrible.
Hi guys.
Not to mention,
I just want to clarify what happened. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't know.
Who cut his hair?
Cover girl. I'm James Charles.
No, wait. Let's talk about that for a second. Did you see his haircut in that video? I don't think I've ever seen like.
He went to army cuts. He went to sports cuts.
Flat on the top, but it was like long. It was like long but flat.
That's sports clips. That's sports clips.
That's sports.
That's sports clips.
It's like the weirdest thing. Like it's like flipped up, but it's. But yeah,
well, yeah, it's a new James Charles. It's a new James Charles. It's just a new. My mouth is always full of spit because I don't drink water.
I'm so sorry.
I don't drink water. I'm James Charles. I DM'd. I don't even know what a DM is. Cover girl, easy breezy. I'm about to catch an easy breezy rape case.
Oh jeez. Oh god. We don't need to be sued by James Charles, please. I mean, like, I don't like
Sue us. Come on, man.
Do not sue us, please.
Bring it on, James.
No, do not bring it on, James.
Let's talk to the victims. Let's talk to the victims. Get them on the TurnDown. Let's get them on the TurnDown and see what those conversations were about.
Something tells me that they don't know who we are.
They're gonna know once the lawsuit is brought against us on pictures on the cover.
They're gonna know when we have 6 different lawsuits going.
We have 6 different lawsuits coming in. They gonna know who TurnDown is. They gonna know when Mission Barbecue pulls up with the doggone.
Oh my god.
The attorney.
So who's man? So it's Mission Barbecue.
Mission Barbecue.
It's Mission Barbecue.
Elvis Presley.
Michael
Jackson.
Presley. Yeah.
Sprouts.
I mean, I don't know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't know who I'm talking about. Not Sprouts. Definitely not Sprouts. A Whole Foods knockoff.
James Charles.
James Charles. I don't know who else.
Well,
I mean, maybe you
good.
I mean,
nah,
these are like rookie numbers. Like we need to pump these up, to be honest.
Yeah.
Who's next? Chipotle? What they do?
Whoa.
Bad meat.
Chipotle's.
They got bad meat.
I mean, E. coli.
It was the
but
lettuce.
E. coli.
It's the lettuce. Yeah.
Yeah,
Romaine
that
lettuce.
was. I mean, that's over.
Lettuce.
That's old news. We got to stay.
I
ahead of the
love
curve.
Chipotle, dude.
We're trying to go viral.
Oh my god, I love Chipotle. Not a sponsor. I wish they were.
If they
get
hey,
some burritos,
Chipotle sponsor
man.
us.
Dude, Chipotle. You know how many times I've eaten bowls from there?
Oh my god.
I had my first one of the year like a week ago. That was right before I got sick.
You had your first one?
Yeah, first one of the year. It was like a week ago.
Dang.
Because I don't eat Chipotle much. I don't eat Chipotle much because I don't live like I feel like a lot of the food I eat, I live within half a mile of.
Yeah.
Like if I don't live within half a mile of it, I'm not eating it much.
The nearest Chipotle is like just too far away for me to be like, yeah, I'm gonna get up and go to Chipotle.
Yeah, it's all the way near Arundel Mills, right?
There's one in Arundel Mills. There's one in Glen Burnie.
There's one in Watchapel. You never.
Boy, the one in Glen Burnie's farther from you.
Well, I go like so to when I deposit all my cash, it's right next to the bank.
When you're close.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's close. The one on Ritchie Highway is not that far from me, but it's just far enough for me to not really want to go.
Yeah. It's also Ritchie Highway. It's like, do I really want to go on Ritchie Highway?
And then you're also like near Marley Station, and that's
Marley Station.
You can feel the energy.
Is fake. It doesn't exist. It's not real.
I mean, it's basically owned by Amazon at this point. Like Amazon just lets the other stores stay. They're doing them a courtesy.
They got the one.
Like Amazon's, Amazon was like, you know what? We'll let Gold's Gym. We'll let y'all stay.
Yeah, Macy's, Gold's Gym, Amazon.
Macy's and Gold's Gym. Yeah, Sears is gone. They said Sears.
Yeah, Sears is gone.
No, they took Sears out. So
That's
no more break changes.
The Nordstrom in Annapolis. Yeah, break changes. Nordstrom in Annapolis is gone.
Really?
Yeah, the entire Nordstrom.
The entire
Nordstrom.
Dang.
It's
I
crazy.
went there back like
I
around
thought it was
Christmas
temporary. I thought it was temporary.
I went back there around Christmas time. I was like, yeah, we closed. Like we closed. Like
I was just there. And they're closed.
Yeah, I was like, thanks for everything. And I was like,
wow.
Wow.
I used to work there.
This is what I don't like, bro. How did Lord & Taylor close first, bro? I like Lord & Taylor. Lord & Taylor they had discounts. This is what I'm saying. Here's all those
discounts.
When a store says we have a sale, I don't want to walk in and see 10% off $500.
Yeah.
Do you know how much of a smack in the face that is? You're taking
that's pretty much every
off?
Expensive store that there ever was.
Lord & Taylor, when they had a sale, you go in there, you gonna find 45% off. I promise you.
Maybe that's why they closed first.
Off.
They weren't making enough money from.
They were like
Marshalls has been around.
Then again, Old Navy.
Marshalls has been around. Okay,
Marshalls is a front. Marshalls has to be a front.
Marshalls is a front. No, Marshalls is getting stuff off the back of the truck. No, I have seen Gucci jeans in Marshalls.
Yeah,
Gucci jeans.
No, like that's that's serious. Like that's not even like a joke. Like you can walk into Marshalls and find like some pretty nice stuff for like, and it's all $15.
And it's not stuff
one
like
price,
you know, some stores
$15.
And then they sell chocolates on the way out.
Yep.
So you get the good, you get the clothes. You go to the line, bro. Nah, you got to go to Marshalls, man.
Yeah,
all right, Marshalls. Let's get that vacuum. Go to Marshalls.
Oh yeah.
Take a trip.
Once we go in.
Get in, bitch. We're going shopping
at Marshalls. You can find pottery. You need toys for your kids.
Everything. You need socks. You need a bucket hat. You need a suit.
Sponsor us.
You need a suit. Go to Marshalls.
Sponsor us, Marshalls.
Marshalls, you should sponsor us, bro. You should sponsor us.
This is probably the most like publicity they've gotten in like a long time.
I mean, we could.
Which is why I'm saying
it's K&G as a sponsor. K&G is doable.
K&G. That's a superstore. K&G.
Yeah. I mean, because trust me, I know a lot of Steve Harvey suit wearing niggas. I know a lot. So if I can just get all of them on the podcast one time.
I got my last two suits from K&G. Was it K&G or was it Men's Warehouse?
But get this. You got your suits fitted at K&G.
That's true.
Right?
They were fitted. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. When I say Steve Harvey suit, I mean dudes that go in, take it off the rack and leave. They don't fit nothing.
Look like a box.
So yeah, it's just like, oh, this a large.
Yeah.
This a large, right? They don't care about the neck. Like it's the size of the shirt. So they treat K&G and suits like Old Navy. That's what they moving like.
Have you ever been to the shoe section of K&G?
That's where you got your middle school FUBUs.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's exactly where I was going with the FUBUs.
Oh my goodness.
So if any of y'all don't know, FUBU,
He who shall not be named actually
Yes.
clowned Miles about his FUBUs.
I mean, he who shall not be named. You mean you?
No, dude, and he went to South
Oh
with
yeah,
you.
yeah. You mean, yeah.
Ah,
Well,
yes.
everybody clowned the FUBU.
Everybody climbed the foo.
Let's be fair.
First of all, that's the same brother that got his car stolen.
Oh no.
Yeah, but
AKA, I left the key in and went inside. Bro, what?
yeah.
Whoever stole my car, you about to get it.
I was
Oh,
like,
no.
well, yeah. Why don't you just anyways, FUBU
FUBU.
for us by us. It was an attempt to make shoes for lower income families, particularly of the
blacks.
black type.
It worked, man. FUBU
it
was
worked.
on top for years, bro.
Now, I had to be in 7th grade, and
Already 7th grade.
See,
so,
he got the time wrong. That's the problem. It's too late.
So yeah, so 7th grade. What that had to be like 2012 for us, 2011, 2012,
Yeah.
2012, 2013,
Yeah.
12, 13.
So that was when the
And-
phone posits were big. Phone posits.
Phone posits are big, and I was like, man, I don't have any shoes. I don't have shoe game. I'm walking in with brown Vans, and this is before Vans were really like popping. You know what I'm saying? And like the brown Vans. So like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, the mochas.
I'm wearing loafers to school.
Oh, the loafer.
I'm wearing
The
some like,
Jehovah's Witnesses.
some like white Reeboks.
You heard the good news?
Did they at least have the gum bottoms?
Oh no, they did not. So I'm like, hey, yo, mom, dad, can I get new shoes? And they're like, I'm not about to spend $200 on shoes.
Yeah.
Which, looking back, correct.
Man,
Like-
if it's affordable,
If it's
That's-
affordable, so what?
yeah.
But you got to realialize the environment.
It's the
Mm.
environment. It's,
So you have to
it's
remember,
the,
7th
it's the
grade,
social implications.
mind you, I mean, I was military. I grew up in military. So like, until we moved here to Maryland, and really until I got to middle school, I did not have many interactions with other people that looked like me.
Yeah.
So I talk like I talk, quote unquote, white.
Get the Asian.
And so like I have nothing in common with the people that I with other black people at that point, because I didn't have there's no way to interact with them except for when I'm home. I'm not interacting with other black people, and like I speak proper or whatever,
Yeah.
I'm used to having white friends, so most of my friends are white at that time.
Right.
Now all
My
part
brother
of
was
people.
lost.
Yes, I'm Dr.
He had
Umar
to be
Johnson Jr.
found.
right now. Dr. Umar the second. Please God no. Anyways,
Donations.
gifts.
Man, I was no, this is a donation. This is a Kendrick quote. Man, I was stupid chasing white girls. You know? I was young. I was immature.
Sure, I was immature. What? Chase,
Eighth grade, man. I went.
I
through
was
it.
in a similar position, 7th grade.
And 10th.
Eh,
Let's not act like
seventh,
that.
7th through 10th, more like.
It was a 3-year gap.
But hey, we're
We
here
all
now.
have our faults. It's okay.
Brown and
We here
down.
now.
I love my beautiful woman of
Brown.
color.
Shout out to the.
Shout out to them.
Shout out.
So if any of y'all, what is this, like the 3rd week in a row?
Yeah.
No, straight up.
$20.
Listen. The
Dinner with
podcast got to
Miles.
understand. The podcast got to understand. Listen, we're going to start this Patreon. Okay. We're not playing. And we're going to start giving out. If you want dinner with Miles, understand Miles is a very handsome, very intelligent. The brother's clean. He washes up.
My
His
webcam
brother-
doesn't show how good I look. I have really nice
His
skin.
webcam don't do. Look at the
He does
Jamaican
have
flag.
really nice skin.
Look at the Jamaican flag. That should tell you all that you need to know. Okay. The brother's good, man. The brother's a good guy.
I dress well
Just-
when I'm not sitting at a desk.
No, he does dress well. Now, listen, beware of that blue jersey, y'all. Okay, because I think
have
it will
not-
come out at some point.
I haven't worn that since like junior year of high school.
Hey man,
This brother,
listen,
hey man, this brother had the blue jersey on daily.
That was 4
Daily.
years ago.
All right. I'm just letting him know the
I'm
history.
21 years old now. It's drip
I'm just
central
letting him know
here,
the
Kendrick.
history,
What are you
bro.
talking about? Are you trying
I'm
to help
just-
me or not?
it will be in rotation, but
All
it
right.
will not be on the day when you have dinner.
Miles
Are
can
you-
play you. He can play you bass as he braids your hair. I mean, what more
Wait.
do you want?
Wait,
Well, I guess I got to learn how to braid hair now.
Look, that just you know how to, man. He knows how to braid hair. He could do it while he braids your hair. The brother can cook. The brother will make you a 5-course meal. He'll make you some air fried chicken wings.
I don't have an
Man.
air fryer, Kendrick.
oh.
The brother will get an air fryer. Listen, all
money,
I'm
man.
letting
Hold
you
on.
know is, all I'm letting you know is, this summer's gonna be a hot boy summer for Miles Malone. Okay, so
He
get
can
your
sing.
ticket before
Critics' Choice
get your-
male
He
vocalist
can sing. Oh, look at
Critics'
this.
Choice Best Male Vocalist.
2018.
Look at this.
Let me tell you something, baby. Hey,
Oh.
I know you listen. How y'all doing? So,
Barry White Jr. over here.
Barry White Jr. in the flesh. Now, my
Love it.
beautiful
Just
women
the
of color,
way you are.
please send in your applications. Beautiful women of color,
Yes.
brown and down.
Brown and down. White ain't right for Mr. Miles Malone, but brown and down. And you will mess around.
Honestly,
and
at this point,
find
like I make
the
some
town.
exceptions, but like brown and down. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful women of
Brown
color.
and down. Understand that the brother's so talented, man. The brother, we got some good guys on this podcast, but Miles is ready. Okay,
Hey, man.
Miles is ready.
Please,
Miles is ready.
please.
So let's just get it. We're campaigning.
DM the.
We're gonna get Miles a wife.
page. You know.
We're DM the page. DM the page. Send the
DM the page.
applications.
Send in applications.
Send the applications. You want to go out? You want to go out to eat? It's all good.
I'm
Coffee,
great with parents. I'm great with friends.
pastries.
Like
Yeah, maybe
parents
some
love me.
straw-
That's for real.
We'll have a game show. Finding Miles a wife.
Ooh, maybe we
and
can
you know
make that. Oh,
what is
yeah.
that?
Well-
Is that going to be episode 10?
Get the a special
special.
special 10. All right, and send a flirtatious, but not like
Not too
overtly
much.
sexual.
Yeah,
like
like-
you don't
like,
you don't
yeah.
want come on.
Yeah,
don't
we don't
want-
want- we don't want no
we all
crazy
have
stuff.
access to
No,
that
no, no,
account. So like,
Yeah.
if you want to
But-
send that to me personally, well, that's different. Like,
Just know Kendrick and Tim will see it. So let's chill.
send a
Okay.
nice maybe a little flirtatious message.
Oh yeah. Send
Let
your
me know
best
what's
pickup
good.
lines.
Get
send the best pickup lines.
Send the best pickup lines. Send them.
send the best
Send
and the
'em.
worst ones.
Yeah.
Don't
and
tell
the
me
thing
which one is
look
which.
Nah, don't tell him. Don't tell him. Don't tell him. And if you really serious, why don't you just pop up on Miles? You know where he's at.
Yeah.
WB&A Road.
Whoa, hey.
No, no.
Don't tell him where he's at.
Yogurt girl. That's what that reminds me of.
Whoa,
Really?
listen, she could be listening, bro. Let's not, bro. She
If
could
she
be
is-
listening.
No,
Don't say nothing bold. Don't say nothing bold, because if she has your location,
she doesn't. That's
You don't know that, bro. She opened up her fridge and showed you a whole fridge full of yogurt. You think
That's
she's
a
not
story for
capable
another
of
time.
finding?
Anyways, Fubu.
I don't know. Is that a story for another time?
Is that a story for another
Okay,
time?
That is a story for right now. You're
I
right.
Then
wanna-
should you
wanna-
say Fubu? Say Fubu for another time.
Say Fubu. I was in the middle
We
of
should
Fubu.
start. You sure? You think we should start the next one with Fubu?
This is
We'll
into
start
the
with
rabbit
Fubu.
hole, Miles. Come on.
Yeah.
This is into the. Oh yeah, this is into the rabbit hole. So
We
what
are
you think?
far in
Do
the
we
rabbit
keep
hole.
going?
Yeah, I
We're
guess-
far
I guess
in.
it's
You
true.
think we're too far in?
I
I
feel like
want
we're here.
yogurt.
Okay,
We're too far in.
girl. So
Yogurt.
girl.
Yogurt.
So the
Yo, Gogurt is just yogurt.
yes.
In a tube.
Nah, bro. Nah, listen. No. We can't do Yogurt Girl today. We already hour 45 minutes in. We at our
Really?
limit. We
We're at
can't
our
do
limit?
yet. We're,
Oh
we're-
my
we're
Why don't we
God.
just
at our
finish
limit.
Fubu
We're
then?
close.
All right,
We're-
we'll finish. Fubu.
Are you sure?
We
Yeah,
can
let's
finish
finish
Fubu.
Fubu and let's do
Let's
like
finish Fubu.
let's do like relationships or something next time.
Oh, well, that
Yeah.
just
Oh yeah,
feels
we're gonna have to talk
mean.
about that.
But anyway,
No, not relationships. Not relationships. Not
No,
relationships.
not relationships.
Love.
Love.
or
And
we could just talk
life.
about like our weird experiences
Weird
Yeah,
experiences.
everything. We'll talk
with
about everything.
women.
But hey, but then we also talk about, we can talk about relationships, we talk about future, all that kind of stuff. Because we're three guys that talk about it all the time, and apparently nobody else does that. Not nobody else, but like we're the minority in that. So
that's why we're turned down. Instead of turning up and talking about liquor and parties, we talk about relationships and love life and vows.
And FUBU.
So
segue.
Yes. Here we are, King of Segways, Miles Malone. I think I have to say that at least once per episode.
Yeah.
King of Segways.
Sponsors Chipotle. Thank you.
Yes. So FUBU. So where was I? We were like talking about so I'm like, Mom, Dad, like, I need some new shoes. They're like, no, I'm not gonna spend $200 on shoes. Like, shut up. And I'm like, what?
Wow, shut the fuck up.
Yo, I gotta look fly. Mom, Dad, like I need shoes. Like, I need new kicks. Like, I need it. Like, come on,
I need that shoe game.
I need to stun on niggas. Like, that's
you don't know. You're like crying.
Pretty much. Like, that's not.
I need my shoes. I got A's. I need your shoes.
These brown Vans ain't cutting it no more. I can't walk around with the white Reeboks with no gum.
I did my homework, please.
I look like I clean floors for a living, mama, and I'm only in 7th grade.
And like that 7th grade was
look
weird.
Like I work for.
Hey,
people sing the 877-241 Luna song when
is
I
it
walk back.
your story or mine, Kendrick?
I'm sorry.
All right, continue us.
So
continue.
And mind you, 7th grade was like a transformative year for me because I started off that year fat. Like I think I started off the year I was probably only like 5'2" and like 130 pounds at like 5'2". So I was a little fat kid. I had titties. And then in the middle of the year, I shot up to like 5'6", 5'7", a little bit shorter than I am now, and I lost a bunch of weight. So my image was transforming. so my image was transforming. I'm not a little fat kid anymore. I'm not the little fat kid anymore.
Titties.
I did, Kendrick. They were there.
It's a bigger dance.
All right, his titties imploded,
and they were no longer there. You know what I'm saying? I had the SpongeBob abs because like it was just so skinny that it was like there was no choice but to have abs.
SpongeBob abs.
Because they was just like it's like you didn't really work for them. You know what I'm saying? But like they're there because there's no. I had like literally.
Tell them about the haircut.
Yeah. Oh, I had a 1. And
take it all off.
Anybody who doesn't know me from high school, anybody knows from like college and onward, you've only seen me with long hair, or longish hair at the very least. I do not have the head shape for a 1. like when people say like peanut head.
Salt peanuts.
Yeah.
Chrome dome.
And so, long story short, I'm never cutting my hair. Even when I get rid of the locks, like I'm combing it out. Like my hair is going to be long for the rest of my life. I'm not like it's not happening.
Miles gonna look like he gonna go like Jordan at UMBC, the teacher.
Oh. I refuse to do that to myself either. At that point, I'm cutting it. If you guys are my brothers. If it ever gets to that point,
I'm gonna cut it myself.
Cut it for me.
I'm gonna cut it off, bro. I'm gonna cut it for you.
But I'm not trying to look like Victor Wooten, dreads all on the side and a ring around my head. Anyway, FUBU. Oh, or Stevie Wonder.
Stevie Wonders, yeah.
Shout out to Stevie, man.
Yeah, if you're watching the Stevie or listening, sorry. Please sponsor us, Stevie. But FUBU.
That would be huge, bro.
Yeah.
FUBU.
So transformative. I got a 1 haircut. Head's not shaped for it, but whatever. I'm skinny now. Don't have titties. So I'm like, I need this for my image. My image is changing. I got to get new clothes because none of my clothes fit me. They're all baggy now because I don't have titties anymore. And And I'm like, well, we gotta go get something. And I think I needed to get like a dress shirt for something. So me and my mom, she took me and my sisters. We were in K&G in Glen Burnie, K&G Fashion Superstore.
Oh man.
And I'm walking around and I go into the shoe section. First mistake. Like there's nothing good comes from the shoe section at K&G Fashion Superstore. It's just nothing. You have FUBU and Rockaware. Yeah, I don't think they have the money to sue us.
Oh, and that was after Jay-Z sold it too.
Yeah. So Rockaware, you got Echo Unlimited, and FUBU. I'm bringing it back. And I walk up and I see these shoes. Now they're FUBU. Let me describe. The front half of them look like tap dancing shoes. They're shiny and black, just shiny black like pleather.
No.
Oh my god!
A glazed, like your shoes like a glazed donut.
Cap. And the sides of the shoes are white, and there's this plastic red zigzag that runs throughout the length of the shoe. Plastic, not so terrible. And the shoe itself had no lifted sole. Like the sole was flat. Like I was wearing flats with ankle support. It really didn't have any ankle support.
You just got a pair of Toms.
And man, when I walked into that school the next day,
you thought you were fresh too.
Oh, I thought I was fresh.
You thought you were gonna get bitches that day.
Oh, women. Thank you. It's 2021.
Sorry. Oh, I meant female dogs.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, literally. That's the only thing you was getting with them shoes on.
Walk into the kennel.
You thought he meant women? You got a bunch of poodles coming up to you.
No, I said what I meant, and I meant what I said.
Trying to piss on them. Anyways, that's probably honestly would have been better if they did. And I walked into that school so full of hope, full of pride, confidence. I'm telling confidence. I walked. I was proud of my FUBU.
For us, by us.
Man, farmers used to buy us. Like FUBU. And I just remember the biggest boy, if you don't.
Oh no.
And I knew. I tried to think maybe it wasn't for me. Maybe somebody else came in looking busted.
You're looking around like,
it's like, yeah, man. Boy, if he doesn't, man, that's crazy. If he don't, who we roasting here, fellas?
Oh no.
And
oh my
said,
god,
boy, if you don't get your old tap dancing, but no tap. Man,
because Lord knows you can't tap dance.
Can't tap dance.
Well, no one's in middle school at Old Mill being like, bitch, you can't tap dance. Like, no one's doing that.
No. But you, with them shoes on, you better know how to tap dance.
No, I see.
That's the thing. That's like a tap dance shoe.
Man, that was first period. It was science class. The lights are off because it's like light outside and everything. And it still couldn't save me. That whole row of desks just took turns.
Oh no, they
took turns.
Oh,
just Showtime at the Apollo.
It was the roast of Miles Malone and his FUBUs.
That's terrible.
His busted ass FUBUs.
That is not a fun day.
I mean, I can look back on it now.
Nelly.
Yeah, you look back on it now and that's hilarious. But like, man, if you were having a bad time,
oh man,
I don't. Oh.
And like
that would have been terrible.
And mind you, this is one of my first experiences with like with other black people. So I'm like, damn.
Yeah, you're like, man,
this is what I'm walking into.
This is what I'm walking into. And then of course in high school I met people that aren't assholes.
Yeah.
So I guess if the shoe was on the other foot, so to speak, maybe I too would have
probably maybe would have been like,
who knows? But
not the tap dancing.
Don't wear FUBU, especially not with the plastic zigzags. It's just not. It's never worth it. That goes for Rockaware. That goes for Echo Unlimited. It's 2021. Time to pack it up.
Yeah.
Coogee, don't do
Cooge.
it.
Got rid of all my coochie. Wow.
Wait, hold on. Say that again.
No, Coogee. Coogi.
No, if I had any other stuff, we wouldn't have just put out an ad for a girlfriend. Like what? That's not...
You're right. That would be. You know what? On that note, kids, you heard it here from the TurnDown. Don't wear boo boo. Don't wear Coogee.
Coogi.
Coogi.
Echo Unlimited, Rockaware. It's pack it up.
Just don't go to K&G altogether.
Oh,
okay,
man.
kids.
Unless
Don't
you're finding
go
a
to
fitted suit,
K&G.
they do have pretty good fitted suits if you know what you're looking for.
If you know what you're looking for.
Function,
But
honestly, function over
slim-
form.
If you're slim thick like me,
function over form.
You know,
another pro of dating Miles, slim thick.
Okay.
$20.
On that note,
$20
We'll
starting. It's going up next month, so put them in now. Pre-order.
Dinner with Miles will go live in May of 2021. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a hit.
We're not
Ladies,
kidding.
we're seriously not. Send in your applications. Everybody who is interested in a dinner with
Hey,
Miles.
even if you're not
send in your
interested, like maybe
applications.
you'll be interested after dinner with me. Who knows? I'm a pretty cool guy.
That is true. Take a chance, y'all. Take a chance. What do you got to lose? I mean, he's a great guy. You're probably gonna fall in love. So
Honestly, I would.
we're just gonna say that in advance. Just so, and we're gonna send out a disclaimer. We're gonna send out a disclaimer as well. Just to everybody to let you know, like, hey, you know, there's a chance that this and this can happen. You know, you're gonna fall in love. You're gonna live happily ever after.
Yeah, you know.
Blah blah blah.
'Cause I'm just that kind of guy. Like I'll make you feel special.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And he'll wear the FUBUs while he's doing it.
If you ever
Don't-
on your life
don't
insinuate that I
invalidate.
still have those FUBUs, sir.
Don't invalidate Miles
On that
like
note, it's time to turn down the TurnDown.
that.
Okay.
Thank you all for watching, listening. Love you.
Yes.
Seriously, man. I love y'all, man. We gonna close up, but next week we hitting it hard, brother. So thank you guys for all our support, brothers. I love you guys. This was amazing.
Love you, man.
All right, peace, y'all.